Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Now, we have a wide array of people here. We have business people, we have people in economics, we have tribal leaders, we have parents, we have young people, all with the same goal, and that is empowerment. I want to thank the governor and Dale for encouraging me to speak today. I want to thank them and Shirley. This is a great opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. I don't take it lightly, because there's somebody in this room that needs to hear this message. Whether you're native or non-native, it makes no difference to me. We're here collectively to do one thing, and that is to make one person better off because we came here. And so it is with that idea that I have thought very carefully what I might address you and give you something perhaps you could take home. Some of you know me and some of you don't. There was a lady from the Ute tribe who said, "Oh, Howard, you look so old now." I said, "Yeah, you wore me out." How dear it is for people to tell you how they feel. How dear it is to be up front and not talk behind your back. Don't you think? That's the way life should be. We should be honest with the people that we deal with. Those of you who came here to learn how to work with Native Americans, I have just two suggestions with you. Be honest in your dealings with them. These tribes in the state of Utah are very small, and they had people come from all over asking to come into their communities. But if you are honest and you deal with them in a good way, they'll tell other tribes and they'll tell other Indian people. And it is the same with our tribal leaders here. If you're honest with your people, your young people will trust you and respect you. And so it is that when you look in dealing with people, they want to know really, can you be trusted? In this day and age, it is hard to find people to trust. Young people are looking for adults to trust. And so it is in this world that it's imperative that as we deal with people, regardless of whether it's a tribe, a school, a business, that we be upfront and we tell people the truth once and for all, so they can trust you and work with you. Would you agree with me? Second suggestion, those of you who are in the business of education, if you're going to work with Native American parents and a Native American community, for heaven's sakes, learn their strengths. It's so easy to talk about what's wrong. But if I were working with a tribe, or I were working with a Native community, I would want to know their strengths. Who are the people? Who are the shakers and the movers in that community? Who are the ones that can make things happen? And thank goodness we have all these Native American women sitting here. These are the movers and shakers in many Indian communities. Give yourselves a hand, because I know some of you. You have done so. Give them a hand. Are involved in education, economic development. Not only that, but they're with their families. They're dealing with their families. They're dealing with the community. And so many of them wear so many hats, but nobody ever thanks you. I'm here to tell you thank you, because you do make a difference, and you are making a difference in your communities. So ladies and gentlemen, it comes down to this very simple thing. Who do you want to empower today? Do you have that person in mind? Do you have that tribe in mind? Because empowerment is just a word. But my definition of empowerment is when one person takes the time to share, to mentor, to teach. To share, mentor, and teach. For 35 years, it has been my joy to work with thousands of Native young people. I had to earn their trust. I just ran into one at the airport. She was on her way on Delta Airlines. She said, "Howard, I met you when I was in high school. You told me I could be a flight attendant." And I said, where are you headed? She said, I'm going to Alaska. And I said, your dream has been fulfilled? She said, no, Howard. You gave me that drive. Ladies and gentlemen, if we're going to empower people, we have to encourage them. So let's try this right now. The person sitting next to you, shake their hand and say, I'm glad you came. Go ahead. Dare you to do it. Okay. Here's the reason why I did that. There will be somebody at the luncheon who will sit with the same people. There will be some of you Native people who will not dare go shake a hand with a non-Native person. And so this whole conference talking about empowerment, you won't empower anybody. If you want to empower people, you have to shake their hand. If you want to empower people, you have to smile. Why? I was walking down the hallway and some of you look pretty rough. No smiles. Ladies and gentlemen, a smile to a young person, to a non-Native person, to a Native person is the beginning of open communications. How hard is that? Now, I'll tell you, in working with young people, my philosophy was I look two ways, potential and possibilities, that's it. How many of you see Native people in potential and possibilities? Raise your hand if you see that. Now it's the beginning, because if you see Indian people with lots of potential and lots of possibilities, there's no room to doubt them. There's no room to question their abilities and talents. There's no room to say they can't do it. These young people that were standing here, some of them are a little older now. They got a little money from Dale's scholarship program, bless his heart. He's still in the fight. Do you know how old he is? Do you know how old he is? You should go up and ask him. He's an amazing man. At his age, still doing what he's doing because he loves young people. He loves what he's doing. He loves the work, and I admire him. Give him a hand. I mean, you gave him the right work. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here today simply because I had an uncle that believed in me at Taos Pueblo. He's 96 years old. I went to see him last week. His simple question to me was, he didn't ask me, what have I done and where have I been? He just asked me a simple question. At 96, he calls me grandson. Grandson, can you still sing? That's all he asked. So we brought out my big uncle's drum and we sat there. He sang and tears started to come down. Remember this, you ought to jot this down. If you want to make an impression or an impact in people's lives, it's the little things that you do. It is not the big and all the talking up here. It's the little things that we do for people that make a difference for their lifetime. And so he asked me, can we sing together? So I sang, and I sang him some songs. And tears started coming down his eyes, and he said, I don't know if I'll see you again. Love those that you love. Tell them you love them. Tell them you appreciate them. Tell them that they are important in your life while they are alive. Because if you don't do it, you may regret it. My philosophy of my mother was very simple. Don't lay flowers on my gravestone if you can't do it while I'm alive. Now, what does this have to do with economic development? What does this have to do with education? What does this have to do with home life? It has everything to do with the progress and the future of Indian people. If we cannot encourage the next generation, this generation now, what will we be able to write in the future of Utah Indian history? What will we write about? But if we just take the time to empower them with a pat on the back. Lacey Harris, who's in here, I've known him for many years. I love that man. He helped me get through college. Look at the people that he is working with. While we were standing out there, people were coming to him, wanting help with all the problems that they're facing with their families, and he graciously talked to each one of them as if they are important. If you want to make impact with people, empower them, give them time where they're standing and looking at you, while they're trying to tell you something that's important in their life. Because if you do that, they'll remember you. I remember Lacey, and Lacey remembers me. And when I saw him, he was a bright sunshine of rays to me, because I thought to myself, there's a guy that loves me. And when you are loved, you can do anything. When you're not loved, you doubt yourself. How many of you have gone through life doubting yourself? Raise your hand. Be honest for once. There you go. If you doubt yourself, it is because somebody didn't encourage you. I'm here to encourage you today to tell you, you have what it takes. You have the mental, the emotional, the strength inside to accomplish anything that you want in your tribes and in your communities. Am I right or wrong? And your young people need to hear that. What are we waiting for? Where's the messengers that go out in the Indian country and tell our young people they will go to college, and they will finish college, and they will do something for their tribes or their community or for their state? Ladies and gentlemen, we have a generation of young people who are waiting for somebody to come along and ignite the fire of hope and direction. They're waiting. And how do I know that? Because 38% of our young people in the state of Utah are dropping out or failing in school. That's almost 40%